Hey everyone, it's been a while since I posted a video, so I want to make something about my blacksmithing shop. And if you guys notice my voice is a little off, I've recently gotten Bell's palsy, so half of my face is not working. If you know, you know. It absolutely sucks. Uh, I sound like I belong on a Barney 5 show. If you don't know what that show is, it's absolutely funny. At least I think it is. But if you're wanting to get into blacksmithing, you don't need a forced air forge. You certainly don't need a power hammer. You certainly don't need a grinder. You don't need a vertical bandsaw. And you certainly don't need an oxygen acetylene tanks, industrial grade. And I'll show you exactly what I got started on. Right over here. I'll move all this out of the way. This right here. I got started on this. I got started blacksmithing with this. It's at my family member's shop. It was closing down. This was my grandpa's. He made this. Made this configuration, welded it up, made it look nice. Damn thing barely works. Doesn't even want to open anymore. But one of these days I'm going to fix that up, repaint it, sandblast it. You know, this is what I got started on. I bought myself, and then I moved from that to one of these NC anvils. A lot of people like to talk trash about these, but these things are absolutely amazing. The capability is just absolutely awesome. This is a farrier's anvil. It's got your shelf. It's got another shelf over here. It's got a nice wide horn. It's got your hardy hole up here, which I like. I like that it's next to the shelf. And I like the fact that it's got a Pritchard hole and turning forks. And an even bigger hole right here. This probably got a name for it, but I don't know it. And then when I graduated from from a hole in the ground, I bought myself one of these. If anybody would like an update on this, or how it's been since day one, since I first got it, let me know. These things have been okay. They've been fairly good. The bricks that it came with, as you can see, they cracked. I didn't initially just take them and throw them in there. They just kind of sat out next to it and dried out, or I'd set them on top and they would dry out. I do have 3 propane tanks. This is for doing my smaller stuff. This is for doing forge welds and canister Damascus, which is kind of nice. I'm left-handed, so everything is kind of set up in my shop a little weird. I can grab this with my right, twist, set on anvil, grab hammer, bang, 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 or hand-eye coordination, grab this, walk over to power hammer, 2 steps, right at the power hammer. And this is not a fancy one. This is one that was, someone made this. It's homemade. It's freaking unique. It's referred to as a tire hammer. I'm planning on making a couple of these and selling them, because the price of your power hammers is going way up through the roof, and I can make them cheaper. I can almost guarantee I can make them cheaper. So, if you're going to get into blacksmithing, get yourself a stand-up cabinet like this, and it functions as 2 things. One, it's a cabinet to keep all your tools in, so that way you don't wind up doing crap like this, where all your tools are just scattered everywhere. I'm out here today cleaning up my shop, and I figured I'd make a video. because I hadn't made a video in a long time. You know, I got Christmas stuff, I got kids stuff, I got a spare tire from the Jeep, I got saws, I got all kinds of stuff just scattered everywhere. I haven't been out here in a while. Here's another tip that you should probably get. This is vinegar. This is tube full of vinegar. I use this to remove all the scale off of stuff. This right here is another tank that is going to be full of muriatic acid, and then I'm going to make another one, for diluting the muriatic acid down. And you need a bandsaw. You don't even need one of those. You can just get over there and get one of them saws, or even one of these. You don't need nothing fancy. You know, I got started with a hole in the ground, man, and then eventually I got one of these. For clean up metal, I need to replace the belt on this. It's about gone. Wasn't very much at Harbor Freight. I got a couple little projects here that I haven't quite finished up yet. I haven't punched the holes in this one yet, but this is going to be a hook you mount on the wall for hanging up stuff. Here's another little hook. I ain't quite finished yet. Ain't squared up the holes none yet. And then here's a knife. Here's a knife I ain't quite finished yet. This is a big knife. Screwed up the front clip on it. Screwed up pretty bad. But I'll tell you what, I made this into a throwing knife. That'll be a cool throwing knife. I wanted to take some deer handle, put a deer antler on it. I thought that'd be kind of cool. Here's another project I've been working on this one for quite a while now. It's just kind of as I get time, and I learned a couple valuable lessons about this. Don't ever sharpen the knife and then try and grind on the handle. Don't ever do that. I'm just out here kind of cleaning up shop, getting everything ready. That, and you know, making a pile of crap, getting everything organized. But one of the things you should always do, blacksmithing or any kind of metal organization, keep your spring steels and everything else separate. Now these, I know that these are good steel because they're labeled. That's 5160. This one's 80 CRV. I put them in here with the mild steel, or the slightly. These are railroad ties or railroad spikes. I got those given to me. Those things right there, they're not hardenable. I mean, I've seen a lot of people do all kinds of weird stuff to them, but the best way I've seen to make them work is cut them, split them, add in a good hardened piece of steel, and it welds up just fine. So that's what I'm going to do with these. I've got an order to make a couple of these knives, so I'm going to make them. That's going to be in a video coming up. Another thing that kind of helps out, get yourself a drill press. Drill press is absolutely amazing. Get yourself a clamp. Don't use one of those. Get yourself a machinist clamp, and not a Harbor Freight one. Go get yourself a good quality one. And the reason why I say that is a Harbor Freight one, there'll be play up and down, and it'll shift. You don't want that. You want this thing to be as dead nuts as possible and nice. Ideally, you'd clean off all this crap up here before you do any of that. Keep yourself a good face shield, and always keep a fire extinguisher handy. But if anybody wants to see any more about my blacksmithing shop, it's kind of a hobby. If anybody wants to see any more of it, let me know, and then I'll start sharing stuff, and we'll go from there. So take care, everybody. Bye.